Good luck.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Game Addicts podcast. I believe this is episode 35.
I don't know. I don't keep count.
You know, I think it is. Nah.
Okay.
Leave it here.
My phone's over there anyway.
Your phone's over there?
Yeah.
So here's the thing, guys, is that we didn't do a show last week. It is 35. This is episode 35.
Okay.
We're cool. Once you start doing like JSC's like 143,
Right.
You know, and we've been doing like 30 something of these. So it just, and then I did sort of live for a little bit for almost 10 episodes. They
just start.
GIW, we did that for like 18 episodes. I don't remember where stuff
Foodies.
is at. Foodies, I'm not really involved in that, so I think they're on 4, but they're really on 5.5. That's Nate's thing. I'm not going to question how he numbered, okay? Because they did episode 0.
Right.
See, we did episode 0 too, kind of.
Yeah, we did.
I just made that episode 1 when we transferred over. I even made that episode that we looked at the PlayStation like event thing that we did just for YouTube.
Yeah.
I made that into an episode because I'm like, I don't know what else to do with this. So this
Right.
is episode 9 or whatever. But yeah, this is episode 35. We're back. You know, we did the E3 preview. So obviously this is the E3 review. E3 really just kind of started today as we're recording this. Of course, we are not there. We are in the middle of the country. We don't have access to that. But we are going to look at the all the showcases and all the press conferences for all the big companies.
One day.
Yes.
One day we'll get a media pass.
That'd be awesome.
God, that'd be great.
But yeah, we're going to talk about our thoughts, run down some of that. I have some notes. I don't have a lot of notes because I had to eat dinner and then I didn't take notes today for the last one.
I've been on almost 12 hours, so I don't have. I've been watching them basically in
Non-stop?
the parking lot. Yeah, as much time as I have.
I actually had a good job. I did a good job at keeping caught up and didn't really run behind, except I almost knocked my drink over. Never put this over here. I didn't watch Bethesda live. It was so late. It was like midnight over here.
Yeah, I didn't either. But I watched it right when I woke up. I went ahead and made breakfast and threw it on.
Do you know what I didn't say?
What?
Let me start this show over. Welcome to the Game Addicts podcast, the show where we talk about the modern and retro video games that we play and collect. I am your host, Brando. He's Player 2, Mike. And now we can officially start the show.
Yes.
We're going to look at E3. And what we're going to do is, normally we do a format, but today we're going to kind of rearrange it because we want to get ahead and, like, while some of this stuff is still fresh in our heads, go through. And we're going to start with, I believe EA was on Saturday.
Yes.
Their press conference. And so overall, did you watch it?
Yes.
What do you think about their press conference? Because theirs was really very Battlefront heavy. Like last half of it was all Battlefront.
I watched a lot of the gameplay of Battlefront. I mean, you know, the FIFA and stuff like that. I don't really care about those, but it was good.
Now, I have written down they did talk about the Battlefield Battlefield 1 DLC.
Right.
So
And
you're
see,
gonna
I
see some
don't
more of
really
that.
care about that.
Okay, I wrote down Need for Speed Payback Fast 9. Essentially, Need for Speed Payback is a Fast and the Furious game.
Yes.
Now,
That looks cool.
It looks cool for
cool.
what it is. I'm not big into racers or arcade racers, but is Criterion making this? They're the guys that made Burnout.
Right.
It looks like it with all the slow action cams. It looks super fun to play.
The only thing they have to get right, the right amount of cops.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want like the last Need for Speed where there's literally no cops and I can outrun them in reverse. Okay, like make it challenging. That's one of my favorite parts of the Underground series and Most Wanted is the fact that like you got to a certain point and then when you beat the game, it is the only time that you can get max stars and like shit hits the fan and it's hard as fuck to run away. I want that again.
Yeah.
As long as they bring that in and like the cool crashes and stuff, you know, they've kind of always had a slow down back in that era where like you do like a takedown where you hit logs, they roll into it, it'll slow it down, turn the camera back and show them hitting it. They've kind of always done that, but I feel like they're going to bring a better feel to the game and really make it come alive when those accidents happen, basically.
Well, they're not releasing a new Need for Speed every year now.
No.
And so they're like, what, every other year kind of now? Was the last one, because the last one was just called Need for Speed, right?
Yeah, and that was 2 years. Yeah,
that was in 2005, because in 2013 when
it's right there. I wish I could see.
Was it 2013 that the PS4 and Xbox One launched? Oh yeah, that was 13.
And it's Rivals.
And that was Rivals.
That was terrible.
What else did they talk about? A Way Out. Do you remember that one?
No.
A Way Out is it's made by the guys that made Brothers, like a tale of two brothers.
Yeah.
We're basically one controller, one stick controls a different brother. Well, now it's a co-op game. You have to play it either online or with a buddy or the couch co-op, where you control one guy and another dude controls another guy, and you both like break out of prison together.
Right.
And it is a kind of a story based. And what I liked about it is that on the couch it is like split screen. So like while you're controlling one guy and you're getting a cutscene, I can like walk around and play the game while you have the cutscene.
Right.
I think it is a really cool thing to do.
It didn't really grasp my interest.
Well, I'm big into like storytelling.
Right.
So I think it's very original. In an era where we don't have a lot of originality.
I'll agree with that.
And so I don't know how much I'm going to like the story because it does kind of seem pretty basic. Dude is like, I got to get out of jail because of my daughter. And then the lady's like, what are you doing here? She's my daughter too.
Right.
So, but like as far as like the other part of that, where you guys got to work together and all the co-op stuff, I like that because that's how I like playing games with people. I'm not a big into like competition type stuff.
Right.
I'm not. I like to play with my friends and have fun with my friends, and I don't necessarily like to sit there and try to play a shooter and get my ass kicked over and over again.
Well, the last game that we'll talk about with EA would grip your interest. That they just kind of touched on in.
Yeah. I need to go back to the top. And then, of course, they talked about sports and more sports. Battlefront 2 was revealed, covering all three eras: the prequel era, the original era, and the new.
I watched all the gameplay for that. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that looks fantastic.
Oh,
like it was at one point they had Darth Maul running around. He's insanely crazy at just wiping through enemy. Like he does a torpedo launch and like does a windmill attack, and it just literally bodies just fall. It's awesome. But him and Rey went at it.
Yeah.
And she's like hardcore mind control.
Right.
So it was really neat to see that dynamic. And then Han went one-on-one with Darth Maul, and it lasted about 12 seconds. Actually, it was less than that, but
got something in my glasses.
We know who won that one.
So EA also debuted the new BioWare IP that they've been hinting for a while.
Right.
Called Anthem. It had heavy emphasis on like Destiny type style.
But adding in mech style, which they call Javelin.
Javelin, yeah. You're wearing like an exosuit. And the gameplay was essentially open world Mass Effect.
With the flying capability.
With the flying thing. So there's this whole drama thing going on with BioWare in BioWare Edmonton, which is the team that's making this, and the team that made
the core team that's made Anthem.
Yes,
that's the team that
made KOTOR and the Mass Effect and all that kind of crap. But another team made Andromeda. And next episode, we're going to talk all about that because as a big fan of BioWare, I want to talk about that and digest everything that has been said.
Right.
And go through with that. But
no gameplay release on this part.
No, it was just a
E3.
tease because they said it's going to debut at Xbox, which is next.
Right.
So what do you think about the Microsoft press conference?
I thought it was good. I do think that the Xbox One X a little overpriced, but when you really think of the actuality of like what you're getting versus the price to get let's say a GPU for my computer, it is more than what the Xbox One X is, but they're very similar, like in the graph and like in their specs. So it's a good deal. It's steep. $500 is steep.
It is. Xbox One X, that's the name of Project Scorpio.
You're right.
Will release on November 7th this year. I wrote down the 6 teraflops. It's got 12 gigabytes of DDR5 RAM.
Mm-hmm.
3 of those are going to be reserved for the system and 9 for the games, which is amazing.
Yeah.
I wrote down 4K, UHD, Blu-ray playback.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at you, Sony, with the Pro cannot play.
Let's say who made Blu-ray?
Sony invented Blu-ray.
Who doesn't have it in their system?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Just saying, Sony. Come on.
All Xbox One S accessories will work day one.
Yes.
All old games will look better and load faster.
Yes.
If they're not 4K, they're still gonna the system is gonna be able to play them better. It improves 1080p output. It has a liquid cool vapor chamber, and it is the smallest Xbox ever. It's smaller than the One S.
Right.
It's freaking great.
Now that's when you asked me about the Xbox conference, that's what I'm talking about there. Now the rest of the conference is great.
Well, like
some of the accessories that are coming out, like which we're probably going to be next, the Duke.
Yeah,
come on, that's awesome.
Well, see, that's by Hyperkin. That is not by Microsoft. It's being made for Microsoft. So they also announced that backwards compatibility now has over 300 something titles for the 360, and they're adding more.
Good for you.
They're adding original Xbox support because they found a way to support the discs. So we have the disc. If you're a collector, that's amazing news.
All I got to say is Microsoft is still going the steps further than anyone else. I mean, the Switch is good, but as of taking their core console and saying, you know what? We want you here. We want you here permanently, so we're going to take everything we have and put it on one system now.
And see, the thing is that, all right, it was revealed not too long ago that only a certain number of users actually use the backwards compatibility, right? That is PlayStation's argument for not doing it.
But that's not true because they said, what was the number?
Half
the people have used it.
Have at least played
one game.
And see, here's the thing for me is that an Xbox One X is going to be a to-buy list for me at some point.
Yes.
Why? Well, number one, it's going to be 4K. So eventually I'm going to get a 4K TV. I'm going to go into that next realm. And that's going to be, I'm going to need it.
Right.
For my media, for my movies, and then for my 4K gaming on the Xbox. Number two, it plays a shitload of 360 games. I don't have to dig out my 360 to play those.
Yeah.
As a collector and as a purist, I do like to play it on its original system that it's meant for. But if it can do it, why not?
And here's the thing: if they're going to give you the proper controller, if you can use the Duke, you're really not losing that sense of playing the original console because you have the original controller. You're just on an upgraded system.
In some cases, using the new controller might actually improve your performance. It might actually make you like the game better. Because so that's one thing that Hyperkin is releasing a redo of the Duke. It is a 9-foot wired controller for the Xbox One and PC, and you're going to be able to just plug it in, and it is the Duke that Microsoft made originally for the Xbox.
Yeah.
And then they ended up phasing that out and releasing the S controller, which is what most people play. That's what I played. I never played the Duke.
I played the Duke.
So I'm actually going to get it and utilize that. But I think it's so cool that Xbox is looking out for the diehard Xbox fans. They're like, you guys have stuck with us since here.
Right.
We have heard you. We don't have all of the capability to remake every single game that you enjoyed on the original Xbox. So here is us bringing this game forward, and we're going to make it load better and maybe even look better, maybe even play better.
Right.
Because this system is more capable than what the original Xbox was. So just maybe it'll be improved. Now, in some cases, some of the backwards compatible games can be a little glitchy because it's not the exact hardware because you're emulating that hardware.
Right.
With that being said, I've played a couple different games backwards compatible, like on that list on my Xbox One. Works fine.
Right.
Works completely fine. Very happy about that. They had a lot of exclusives on the Xbox. Forza 7. We've
known.
We knew that was coming. They definitely showed it off in 4K and what it's going to be capable of. I want to say that comes out in October, early October, late.
I don't remember the date.
I don't know if I wrote it down. Maybe I did. Maybe I did not. I did not. Then they showed off the next Metro game, Metro Exodus.
Looks really good.
Then they showed off the Assassin's Creed Origins. We got gameplay from them.
Yep.
That's coming out this year. Confirmed 10/27. Then they showed a game. At first I thought it was Conquer, but it ended up being a game called like Lucky's Tales or something.
I don't remember that one.
Definitely look that up. It's this little fox, and it's like an old school N64 era platformer where you run around and collect stuff.
Oh, I remember.
I thought it was a new Conquer at first. I'm like, wait, this isn't Conquer. I'm like, it's so cool that we're getting this style of game. I mean, with Ukulele having just come out, in that game, making those people very happy. It takes them right back to their childhood. And then we got Anthem gameplay, which I just showed you because I guess you didn't see it.
Because the Microsoft thing I've only been watching in spurts.
Okay.
That's one of the conferences that I didn't get to sit down and watch.
And of course, that is being slated for 2018, coming out next year.
It was early, wasn't it?
I think it just said it 2018. It didn't give a window.
It looks great.
It looks awesome. I'm not into multiplayer, but I might, just depending. I might be, if we can get a group of people where we can actually play, because that's the problem. That is the problem with me, is where I've got a toddler, he screams, he does all this stuff, I can only play past a certain point.
Right.
And buddy, I don't know what it is, but I turned 30, and I got a kid, and as soon as he goes down, I'm like this. I'm tired.
Yeah, he wears you out.
I'm tired. That day that we played Andromeda, I didn't have to deal with him because we went out and celebrated a coworker's retirement.
Yes.
Had a few drinks, went home, and they weren't home yet. So me and you played.
Yep.
And I said, "Hey, maybe we'll play later." And I'm like,
later never came.
"No, it didn't," because I got tired.
We played what? 3 games?
I think we played 3 or 4. Because you said, I'm one more away from this. I'm like, all right, let's go ahead.
Right.
And then we played one more. It was just, like, multiplayer for me, I don't know. I'm just not drawn to it like I used to be.
My big thing with Anthem, and it was one of the big things that caught my attention, was massive ability to customize your javelin. Like he said, there is a very large... You can pretty much put whatever you want on there. So let's go with Mass Effect. Like Mass Effect, when you play multiplayer, you had to pick a specific character that has specific stuff.
Mm-hmm.
On this, we saw in the video a Heavy. And all he did was slam and charge. Shoot a mortar out. Charge in. He was in the front row, and then you had the sniper in the back. She was picking off some of the guys, and then she did what I call scattershot.
Well, it was like a multi-missile,
yeah,
heat-seeking type thing.
But it looked good.
Yeah, it looked very good.
Looked great.
Next up was Bethesda.
I watched this one.
They did Doom VFR, virtual fucking reality.
Yep.
Fallout 4 VR, Skyrim Switch amiibo support, Zelda weapons and armor.
Right.
Evil Within 2, Wolfenstein 2. There was a card game for Skyrim.
Heroes of Skyrim.
And then they had
Legends,
they showed off like these creator mod stuff for Fallout.
So on that, what this is going to do, and this is something that me and my wife are very excited about. She's a massive Skyrim fan. What it is I believe, this isn't confirmed, but I believe these are mods that you pay for.
Yeah.
And it extends the story.
Extends this people
making missions and stuff, because you can get that on the PC now, but this is to where I think it's more of a, hey guys, you're going to be able to do this like on consoles, because we all know that PlayStation is very limited on what they allow. They are getting a little bit more lenient with what they do, but yeah, we're talking about massive, large scale changes in the game. I don't think it's changing code, but it's like, here's like a whole other area that you can roam in.
Yeah, like
upgraded weapons, and it looks cool.
I wasn't too thrilled with Bethesda's conference. It was pretty quick. It was. They didn't have a whole lot of new to announce. Like, okay, yeah, all this stuff is new, but I'm talking like new release stuff, because
they had DLC for.
Yeah, they had the DLC.
Dishonored.
For Dishonored, and they did that stuff. But I mean, I was like, overall, I was pretty disappointed. Not overly, but I just kind of felt like coming off of Microsoft.
Yeah, it's definitely a low.
It was because I even felt like EA had a pretty good conference.
They did.
And then coming into this is like a few things like, okay, that's cool, and and then I'm like, oh, okay, and I kind of feel like that the Switch Skyrim stuff should have been in Nintendo's.
Yeah,
they should have got.
But to touch on those, The Evil Within looked great, and Wolfenstein.
Yeah,
people have been asking for that for a while now, and they're finally putting one out, and it looks fantastic.
Up next was Ubisoft. That was Monday afternoon. Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, which
has the potential to be awesome.
It's basically like Mario and Rabbids meets XCOM, kind of like tactical, like RPG type game. So that's very interesting, and not what you would expect by putting those two together, because you would kind of expect more of like a platformer.
Right.
But it's got all the insane and ridiculousness of the Rabbids and like the Rayman universe meets Mario with this tactical. It's like things that
it shouldn't go together.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
They're going to make them go together.
Then we got another look at Assassin's Creed Origins. All right, so what did you think about the reveal for Assassin's Creed Origins?
I think it could have been better.
I am not overly impressed. Now,
I think that
here's the thing. It doesn't look bad.
No.
It just looks like Assassin's Creed.
Right.
And I think I'm Assassin's Creed out. I'm kind of done.
I'm sorry, but they're not the Ezio trilogy. That's where it's at for me. At that point, anything after that, I was pretty much over.
Now, like, I kind of feel like one reason why I definitely want to play 3, and it was because of time period, American Revolution, right?
Right.
Loved it. I love the Egyptian setting. I love the setting.
Mm-hmm.
That might get me to play it one day.
Right.
When I'm in the mood to play an Assassin's Creed game. But I'm just going to jump to this one because they cover this one later. Skull and Bones.
Oh.
So they took the pirate battle stuff from Black Flag and made it its own game. Now we already kind of knew that they were going to do this. So sort of like, but this was the game and it's multiplayer.
Yeah. I'm excited. I want to play it.
I mean, it looked awesome. It
looks awesome.
They showed it off a couple different. They did like the debut trailer, and then they actually showed like a multiplayer match of PvP. They showed off the Crew 2, which had planes, boats, cars, bikes.
Yeah.
If you like racing, now they've added everything.
Yep. That was kind of meh.
I'm not big into racing, so it's just.
I like the racing, but it's. I don't know. The Crew just. I never even got it because of how bad everybody said it was.
Well, I mean, this one might actually be better because there might be more content.
Right.
I mean, so it's like, maybe this is a situation where it's like, okay, the first one, they learned from it, and now this is the one to get. Just like with Assassin's Creed, just like apparently with Watch Dogs, where they said, first one, rough. Second one,
that's where it should be.
This
is what we promised you.
This is where it's at. This is exactly what you want. And so maybe the Crew 2 would be something to look into. It might be like an impulse buy.
For me, I don't think so. I might watch, but with
everything,
Gran Turismo coming out and everything that was released in all the latter ones, last ones, blah.
South Park is now releasing a phone game, Phone Destroyer.
Phone Destroyer. We
got a little bit of a look, another trailer, and a release date. Of course, that's already been confirmed for Fractured But Whole. And then we got to look at Far Cry 5.
Yes. I'm on the fence. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know. It was good, but it wasn't. I don't know.
So, what do you think of Ubisoft showing? Did I already ask that, or did I just go right into it? I don't think I did. What do you think about their conference?
I would say that it was par. It had its high points, but I would say that is where it about needed to be.
They also talked about steep again.
Yeah.
But
I believe that it was right where it needed to be because, they said that they were backing off, not putting out a new Assassin's Creed all the time. They were taking a step back and moving forward with some other stuff. And I like the fact that they're taking a step back, but with Assassin's Creed, I'm Assassin's Creed out, as you said. And Ubisoft hasn't really made a game other than
What?
it's Silent Rob.
Oh, hi, Silent Rob.
Hello.
Like, what are you doing here?
Here with the wife.
Oh. Like, what is she doing here?
Dropping off stuff.
A
The key.
key. Oh yeah, the key to
Oh,
the
to help.
house.
So like to feed the cats and stuff while you guys are gone?
Yeah.
So Silent Rob is going to Brookworld up in Chicago.
Chicagoland.
Like supper.
Schaumburg, yeah. Yeah, we're doing our E3 review.
I heard.
Have you been watching it? Did you watch any of it?
Not really.
So you don't know anything?
No, a little bit.
Did you see the Sony thing? Did you see anything from Sony? Because there's a big one from Sony.
Yeah, big one that you're gonna be like, oh, gotta buy it.
No, I don't know.
Spider-Man. They showed gameplay for Spider-Man.
Is that exclusive?
Yes.
Yes,
Oh.
and it looks fantastic.
I did watch a little bit of gameplay from that. That's about.
Yeah, that's what they revealed. They pretty much Arkhamed it up a little bit, and yeah, like it looks awesome.
The plane chase or the helicopter chase was
Yeah.
awesome. It was awesome.
That's where my notes kind of end because I started taking notes during Sony, but then I had to eat dinner. So I was watching on Twitch, and Twitch had audio problems. So
Right.
I started watching, and you just couldn't hear anything. So for the first 2 trailers, I didn't hear anything. So they did another trailer for the Uncharted DLC.
Yeah.
They did the Horizon DLC.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got a Days Gone trailer, and then that's where my stream cut out, and I switched over to YouTube, and I had to go get my dinner ready. By the time I got back, I think I was watching what was Monster Hunter World,
Mm-hmm.
and
It looks great.
which I didn't know that's what it was. I'm like, it's what it looked like, and it was later I found out it's exactly what it was because I was in the middle of it and then I missed it. And then when I came back in, they were showing Shadow of the Colossus. They were remaking that completely. And did they show a trailer for Gran Turismo Sport in there?
Yeah.
Okay, because I also missed that too. But then we got back. Then we talked about VR.
Yep.
That's when they announced Skyrim VR,
Yes.
and they had a couple other VR projects. But that was the only one that really stood out that I could really remember.
Beyond Good and Evil.
That was at Ubisoft, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Here, like we skipped this one.
Well, I got
that was a huge release.
I got distracted from Rob. Silent Rob came here, and it's funny because you're off camera.
Yeah.
So nobody knows you're here.
Yeah. So you're just invisible, Rob.
Good.
Good.
Invisible Rob. That
Yeah, Beyond Good and
barely
Evil
pick
too.
up-
They
pick up audio.
they finally got that announced.
Yes.
And so I'm excited.
What was the other? I think it was a Sony. We've been skipping back and forth with this one.
Well, now, yeah.
So the one with the androids.
That is Detroit.
Detroit. Yeah.
That's from the guy that made Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls.
Yeah, that looked interesting.
That trailer that was introducing the third playable character.
Yeah.
Because it's not the first time that we've seen the game.
Right.
But so yeah, we got a Detroit trailer. We got another God of War trailer and a release window for early 2018.
And the God of War looked great.
It did.
Looked great.
It did. Like it looked really good.
Really felt like they took what they've done with. Wow, I just had a brain fart. You know what game I'm talking about?
I don't know.
The Last of Us. They took kind of what The Last of Us had and kind of moved it over to because with the two characters running around together,
okay,
having
yeah.
a partner.
I get what you're talking about because he's got his kid with him.
And you get the banter.
Yeah.
Because they showed a little banter where he's like, stay here and wait. Of course, the kid never stays there and waits.
No. And then you actually...
Look who his dad is. Come on.
Yeah, right. What else was after that? See, that's why I should have taken notes. I should have just... I should have put down my 50-50 bacon sirloin burger.
Yeah.
But actually, I shouldn't have because it was absolutely delicious. I got a burn on my leg from that damn thing.
I know. My dog likes to lick it.
I burned the crap out of my leg, Rob.
I heard a little bit about that.
Yeah. Did you hear how I did it?
I backed up.
Into the charcoal chimney?
Yeah.
Thought I put it far enough away out, but I was finagling. I put the lit charcoals on the unlit charcoals, try and like slow light it, you know.
Yeah.
And some of them fell off the side. I'm like trying to finagle it, and I backed up right into it. Gave me a 2nd-degree burn. It hurt.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever screamed like that. Like I felt like I got stabbed. Like some little like gnome came up from behind me. It's like ha, ha. But man, I'm trying to remember like the rest of Sony's now because the Days Gone trailer, I missed half of it, so I didn't get to see all of it. I heard it was good. I heard it was an improvement over last year, where it actually showed more of the actual gameplay mechanics.
I came in halfway through.
Halfway.
Sony.
Well, then we are totally failed with the Sony thing.
Yeah.
Because I missed a couple. I have not watched the Gran Turismo Sport. I missed some of Days Gone. Oh man, there's probably people yelling like, "You're not talking about this game," and I'm like, "Oh wait, Call of Duty. They had a Call of Duty World War II trailer."
Yeah, whatever.
Not that I really care.
Right. It was there. If you like that.
Well, but that's exactly where I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
We got a Destiny 2 trailer.
Yep. That was actually pretty decent.
Um,
What was the other one? We're missing one.
I'm gonna look it up, like while we're talking, because then they ended with Spider-Man.
Yeah, that was the one that pretty much overshadowed their entire
Oh
thing.
man, like,
It was like, oh.
like it is what I wanted to see. Like, no doubt, I wanted to see like gameplay of that.
Right.
Because they announced it last year, I want to say.
They did. They gave a little teaser.
Okay, some of the other VR stuff, I just remembered this, was the damn Final Fantasy 15 fishing game.
Yes. God, why?
Like,
Why?
seriously, like...
Seriously, guys.
I have no idea, like why they even, like... I don't know. No.
Just stop, please.
Dude, just watching it was, like it was cringy. I have no idea why. And, of course, this isn't, like, telling me everything. Okay. So, we talked about Detroit, Days Gone, God of War, Spider-Man, Call of Duty, Shadow Colossus, VR. Yeah, we're not missing anything.
We're not
else.
missing anything, are we?
But we did miss Crackdown 3. They revealed that on the Xbox. But it didn't really... The other ones had shown a lot of, like, environmental destruction via the trailer. And this one was more so like player versus player, or player, like, you know, that kind of stuff.
Right.
So,
really, I was looking forward to the Nintendo one, and guess what?
It delivered.
It was a home run.
it definitely
all the way.
It definitely delivered. I didn't take notes, but we just watched it.
We just watched it. And
Yeah. So
Pokemon, it's coming.
yeah,
Real Pokemon, not Pokken.
Really?
Real Pokemon.
They confirmed Switch Pokemon game getting developed. They showed Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Yep. They showed
Well, they showed Mario Odyssey. They showed a lot more of that.
Odyssey is good. You can actually they throws a hat, and then if it lands on the person, you can become that person.
Yeah, like the enemy. So
The enemy. You can do it he does it to a T-Rex.
He became a T-Rex.
He became a T-Rex. He went around and just rampage. Became a Goomba.
And when they get the hat on, they also get his mustache.
He becomes he gets a little fish and becomes a little fish, swims through the area. I think it's awesome.
Like
he
the
became
bullet,
a tank.
Like the Bullet Bill, or whatever
Yeah,
it is.
he became Bullet Bill.
With
It's
the
awesome.
mustache.
They definitely delivered. Nintendo delivered. And what I actually said in the last podcast, I was like, please, God, show it. Metroid Prime 4.
That got teased. What's Fire Emblem Warriors?
Fire Emblem Warriors.
They showed a little bit of. They didn't really show too much of ARMS. They didn't show too much of
briefly.
Splatoon either.
Nope, not very much.
They just kind of said, "Hey, we're going to show a lot of this like tomorrow."
Yeah, a lot of it's going to be on the floor.
And then they're going to live stream a lot of that.
Yep.
As well.
What was the other video?
Rocket League.
Rocket League.
Yeah,
That
Rocket League's coming
looks
to Switch.
amazing.
Zelda DLC. They touched on that, which I thought they would.
Yeah. The Amiibos.
Yeah,
Bastards.
the
I hate-
Amiibos for
I
the
hate you,
for
Nintendo.
the 4 champions.
Yes. Hate you. Hate you. Hate you.
Skyrim gets Amiibo support.
You can
And
become Link
Well, you can have like Link's Master Sword
and his
shield.
armor.
I heard about that.
Man, just anything else? Because they said, they talked about the Pokken tournament. They talked about Pokemon actual game.
And that Pokemon game is supposed to be released within a year. I said, hopefully it will be out in a year.
Yeah,
That's what he said. Hopefully it will be out in a year.
it's already in development.
Yeah.
So
Which is the first home console Pokemon, true Pokemon, period, ever. So it's going to be interesting to see where they go with it.
it'll be interesting to see if they actually take it up to that next console like standard, or if they kind of just do an increment of what they're already doing.
What I want,
like
what I would like to see is that the Pokken is great. It's a cool looking game, but I want to see where like me and you could run around in the Pokemon world, and then we can have a battle, and then we control our Pokemon.
Yeah.
Just like that. That would be amazing.
Okay.
Or have like in this one, hopefully they do like where you have like a bar of extra health basically, and you can do, you know how Ash always does like quick changes in his attacks whenever like they reveal their attack. He changes his real quick.
Yeah.
We need that. Like get a health bar and you can do it a couple of times.
All right, so Mario Odyssey releases on October 27th. That
Yep,
got an
that
actual
was
date.
announced.
Xenoblade is coming out holiday.
Holiday.
It's probably December around the same time as X did. We also, as I looked it up, new Yoshi game.
Yeah, that's right. The new Yoshi game.
There's a new Yoshi game where it's like a mixture of Little Big Planet and Yoshi's Woolly World kind of thing.
Yep, and you can interact with the environment more.
You can like move. You can switch cameras from this view or the reverse view. So like it's a side scroller, so you're looking at it this way, but you can look at it from the other way too.
You stomp in it, and then you stomp in it, it'll completely flip the screen around.
The new Kirby game.
The Kirby game the Kirby game was knocking out of the park. You can basically charm people. So you like shoot out a heart, and then they become part of your party, and you can have 4 people in a party.
Then you can combine powers.
You can combine powers, and then you can put them together and make a power wheel, and it's like rolling through, destroying everything, and then you can control those with other players.
Mm-hmm.
You can have other Kirby's control in the game, so up to 4 players, I assume.
Yeah, I kind of think I like Nintendo's the best.
Oh, it knocked out of the park.
It was also the shortest, which was actually a bonus.
But it was short and sweet because they were like, "Hey, here's this. This is what we got.
And actually,
move on to the next. Here's this."
Actually, they're staying true to the, like with Xenoblade. They said yes, it's coming out this year.
Yep.
And then we got an English trailer, and it said holiday. And then there was another game that is like the Mario plus Rabbids game is coming out at the end of August.
Yep.
So then you have the Mario Odyssey in October, Xenoblade in holiday, probably December. So they're staying true to that. And then some of the other games were slated for next year, but
another game we didn't touch on, we kind of passed over real
What's that?
quick, is that Monster Hunter Worlds.
yes,
That looks fantastic. It's
that's going to PS4 and Xbox One.
Yeah, you're able to sneak around, and you can hide from enemies. Like if you get in a fight, where you're like, no, I'm gonna get my ass beat, and you can take camouflage, and then he's like sneaks up to some type of T-Rex style monster, and he leads him over to a cliff, and he jumps on him, and just beats the crap out of him. And then he like wraps him up in vines and puts him down. And he's waylaying on him. He's like chasing him through the whole entire level. This T-Rex is, and he's just slamming through stuff, and every time there's obstacles. He has one part where these vines are holding like branches, there's rocks and stuff, and he blows that up, and that all falls on him and does a bunch of damage to him. And then in that, they revealed that you have your own kind of dragon-esque style, maybe like, I don't know, but any type of flying creature as like your creature. It's like your pet, and you can latch onto it. And they also added a grappling hook.
Yeah.
Style, so you can like grapple onto, like if let's say the T-Rex throws you off of him, you can grapple back onto him and pull right back to him and keep going right on top of him. It looks way more fast paced, but the ability to take it slow, go for the slow, huge damage to open up. It looks fun. Like I'm excited about that.
We also watched the trailer for Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yes, and that looks freaking intense.
New Dissidia was announced.
Yes.
And that's console Dissidia.
Yes.
That'll be exciting. So now that we've sort of like laid everything out, talked about almost everything, what do you think was? Do you agree that Nintendo probably had the best?
Oh yeah.
Yes. So
well,
I
and that's me coming from being a Nintendo fan myself. I think that even excluding the fact that I'm a massive Nintendo fan, that they gave us everything we wanted.
Well, okay, because I said the only one I was disappointed with was Bethesda, right?
Right.
So like,
it was very slow.
well, but they just didn't have a whole lot that was like really worth of like having a full on showcase for. My opinion. I feel like you probably could have put a lot of their stuff into either just a trailer, put out a trailer,
Yeah.
or they could have like said, "Hey, Xbox, you want this trailer? Do you,
Right.
do you want to reveal Evil Within, or do you want to reveal Wolfenstein? Sony, you get the other one, you know."
Yeah. And then the VR and stuff, that stuff could have came in just a small trailer block of like 20 minutes. Like just put up a 20-minute trailer.
If
and
Sony's
be
already
done.
doing VR stuff, you just put it in there.
Right.
But I just kind of feel like Bethesda really didn't have a whole lot to really talk about. Now, Xbox had to sell the Xbox One X. That's what they were doing. They were showing the console, showing what it can do, telling you what it can do, telling you that it's the most powerful console ever created. You know, focusing on that, telling you not only is this the best Xbox that you're ever going to own, it's going to play all your old games better. It's going to be able to play all of the Xbox 360 games that are backwards compatible, all of the original Xbox games that we're adding in for backwards compatibility. They had a lot to do there.
Yes.
They had to push hardware. Sony didn't do that this year. They just said games, play games, show them, show trailers, which is they didn't have
That's
to.
what they needed.
They're already
to do.
ahead, way ahead of. They don't have to worry about selling consoles right
What
now.
did they just announce? Was it 60.4 million?
It was 60 something, yeah. It was over 60.
60.4.
So like,
Million
and
consoles sold
when one
worldwide.
in every 5 is a pro,
Right.
and then the VR is selling well for them too. So they don't have
It's
to
hard,
worry
that's hard
about.
to find.
They don't have to worry about telling you to go buy their system. People are already buying it.
Right.
That's Xbox job is now like, we want you to buy this because this is awesome. It's $500. You're not going to be able to afford it, but it's awesome.
Steep, man. That's
Um,
steep.
But like one day, you know, when you get a 4K TV, this will play all your 4K Blu-rays.
Really, it's. I feel like it's geared towards someone like me. Like I don't have an Xbox.
Yes,
Xbox
exactly.
One. But I mean, I have a PS4 Pro,
Mm-hmm.
and really upset with its performance issues. The fact that I have to put a fan on the bottom of it to cool it, so it doesn't overheat.
And the Xbox One S is liquid cooled.
And the
so-
Xbox X liquid cooled. Yep.
I mean, once they said that, and I'm like, this thing's gonna be over 400, because I was shooting. I'm like, 400 should be good, and I'm like, uh-oh, and then it was like 500. I'm like,
That's a steep investment.
it is steep, and it's for a certain market.
Yep.
They're still gonna have the Xbox One S, which is like down here,
Yeah.
but it still plays 4K Blu-rays, still does 4K streaming. It plays not 4K gaming, but it does HDR.
Listen to this, Sony.
So it's like, it's like the Xbox One S is really still a better option for you than the PS4 Pro.
Yeah.
If you're trying to decide where do I go,
Yep.
and you're not really worried about the exclusives,
Yep.
that's what I would do. But I mean, I play primarily on PlayStation anyway.
So do I.
So it doesn't really matter for me. But if you're just one of those guys that likes to play your shooters, likes to play like your third-party games, and also the Xbox One S has got a price drop
Yep.
down to $200 for the 500 gigabyte model.
It's where to go.
Yeah.
Place to go.
Yeah. So, what was the best game that you saw?
The best game that I saw, like
What was
gameplay wise.
what was best in show? What game? Anthem for you?
Anthem.
I'm gonna.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the Nintendos, but as of like gameplay, they literally like we didn't know what this was,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's like, here you go, gameplay.
Destiny meets Mass Effect.
Destiny meets Mass Effect. That's exactly what it is.
I'm still gonna say Spider-Man.
Yeah, see, Spider-Man is like really close. Like they're really
Well,
close.
I liked all of the way that his moves and his little stuff he does molded into his combat.
Did you also see that they had a Spidey sense?
Yes.
You can do the Spidey sense dodges, and you can do Spidey sense, and then if he does a Spidey sense, you can quick shoot, and you can hit him in the face, and it stuns him for a couple seconds. And there's a point where he's taking on like 5 guys.
There
at
were
once.
some quick time events, but I'm okay with the quick time events as long as like I'm enjoying and feeling like I'm a part of what I'm playing.
Well, what the quick time events were was like the falling crane, like that
Yes.
fits.
Well, it was so cinematic.
Yeah.
Holy crap! And also, from what I'm understanding, it's going to have both Peter Parker. And
Well, did you see the end?
yeah,
Hey, Miles.
yep, it's going to also have,
Hey,
have
Miles.
Miles Morales. Spider-Man, that is supposed to come out next year.
Yes.
So, which of these games that are slated for 2018 are going to get delayed? Let's play the delay game. Because I'm going to wager right now,
Oh God.
because Forza's coming out this year. That's
Yeah.
already set. Anthem is supposed to come out next year, but they didn't even give a window. They gave a window for God of War,
I think God of War will be delayed.
probably.
I don't think it'd be delayed by much.
Like if they delay it, they'll probably move it to the fall.
I don't think Anthem will be delayed because we saw pretty good gameplay of it, and it looked pretty seamless. It didn't look rough.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's also they can doctor
Yeah.
what they have to show you. Too.
Yeah.
I mean,
But I would say Anthem will. Destiny is slated for this
year I think it's this September. Yeah, that's coming out.
Yeah, it's coming out.
But I honestly think God of War is. I think it's going to get delayed. It may probably until the fall. I hate for it to be delayed, and I hope it doesn't. Notice we did not see hide or tail or nothing for Red Dead Redemption 2 anywhere.
Nowhere.
Nothing.
Doors are shut on that one.
Yeah, and I don't know if that was just like we're not ready yet, or we don't want to talk about it because the anticipation. I don't know what it is.
What other shows we got coming up? We got the Tokyo,
We have Tokyo Game Show, which they're not going to show Red Dead there.
and then you got the PlayStation.
We have PSX. They've already announced the
PSX.
dates for PSX. They'll probably show something at PSX.
Yeah.
It's coming out in like early in like the spring. And we have Gamescom. Paris Games Week. It's not all of these guys go to every
Yeah, I was gonna
single
say they don't. All of them don't go there.
one. But I'm gonna have to say overall Nintendo had a better show. Spider-Man was the best game for me. I was very amped up. Like once they started showing the final game, and I'm like, okay, cool, Spider-Man, and then I got into it.
What I liked is like you see Peter knock him off the building, and then at the very last minute he's like, nope, and grabs him and then flings him down onto the scaffolding. I was like, that's cool. Because, I mean, Peter's not going to let anybody die.
Yeah. I really liked the running up the building.
Yeah.
And I also liked when he's swinging and he's running along the building.
Did you also notice that when he runs along the building, that they actually show him shoot the corner to turn the corner?
Six in the corner, yeah.
And then he uses that. And then the perch. I like it. It looks good. And the fact that, like, the very beginning, I like the sneaking. Because Spider-Man, if he's outnumbered, he's going to take his time and pick them off one by one until he's noticed. And then when he's noticed, he's going balls and walls.
Well, like, I really, like, from the get-go, I'm like, man, they Arkhamed this up.
Yeah.
Which is not bad because it's like, there's been so many Spider-Man games since, like, the last great one. And so it's like, it's nice. This is going to do good.
Yes, it would do great.
And it being an actual, like, exclusive.
Yeah, in-house.
Well, yeah. Well, it's made by Insomniac, of course. I mean, they did like Ratchet and Clank. I want to say they did Ratchet and Clank.
I don't know off the top of my head.
Well, I want to say they did Ratchet and Clank and they did Sunset Overdrive.
I think they did Sunset Overdrive.
Insomniac. I'm going to look it up just so I can... Because I want to say they did Ratchet and Clank. Rob, do you know?
No.
And then, of course, as soon as I type Insomniac, it just tells me like what it means to be in Insomniac. Yeah, they did Ratchet and Clank, Sunset Overdrive, Spyro the Dragon, Resistance: Fall of Man. They're working on Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
And, of course, they did Song of the Deep. That was that one
Yeah,
GameStop
that's right.
game.
That's right.
They did Fuse. They did Resistance, all those. So these guys have been around the block, and so they know what it means to make a big game.
It looked good. I mean, it looked fantastic. There's no way around it.
So I think that covers it for E3.
Yeah.
We do
Ready for pickups?
We do, yeah. We have a couple pickups. We normally do that at the beginning of the show.
I'll do mine first.
Yeah.
You got a lot of time.
You go.
So, we've been talking about streaming and capturing some gameplay for a while, and finally broke down and got us one. I got us the Elgato HD 60S. The only problem is that we don't have the hardware to use it.
Not yet.
But we can still capture, but live stream. And I'm working on that. But yeah,
increment steps.
Yeah, this is our next step. So I went ahead and made the purchase. So, yeah, I'm really excited for this. I'm really excited to see what this does. I really don't want to test it on an inferior device. I want to
make sure that we're ready to go.
Yeah.
And guys, we're not going to start live streaming. We are going to live stream the show.
Right.
Like, so that way people can watch us do the show live and be just as uncomfortable as we are when we're whenever we have people interrupting the show.
Well, we would also like to, for us, this is capturing old school gaming
That
we can
too.
still do. So we might capture, maybe sit down a weekend and do a test run on it and see what happens.
We are going to live stream the show, but we're not going to live stream the show until we're ready.
Right.
We're not going to live stream games until
we're
ready.
100%. It looks good.
Until we are ready to go. We're going to be doing a lot of experimenting with it, but it's going to be like when we're not going to start doing the show live on Twitch until we are ready to go and we have this thing and everything else figured out.
Right. So that was my pickup. It's not really a game, but
I got two. I got two Dreamcast games. Something that we don't see a whole lot of around here. First off, Phantasy Star Online. Got this for $10.
it's a good buy.
Normally goes for like 15, 16. And actually, somewhere here in town sold it for $5.95 not that long ago. Wish I would have found it there.
No kidding.
I think that was downtown.
Downtown.
But anyway, this is an online multiplayer game. Guess what? It's got offline multiplayer too, and it's got an offline mode, and then you and a friend can team up offline. This is compatible with the keyboard, the jump pack, the modem, the VGA box. So that way, this supports VGA output, and then of course you can. It's got along with it the Sonic Adventure 2 demo disc. Thought that was really cool.
That's good that you got that.
Yes, bought this on Friday. Came into town, to enjoy a night out.
Sonic Adventures 2 coming 2001.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
And then I went in there and somebody had unloaded a bunch of PSP. I had to keep talking myself out of buying movies on PSP because I don't need it. But they had The Crow, they had Batman Begins, they had like a bunch of movies I actually like.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be so cool to have them play them on the PSP. But they also have somebody brought in some PS1 stuff, and then of course some Dreamcast stuff as well. And lastly, this was there too, Skies of Arcadia. Now this one was more expensive. This one was like $47.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can spend money on $10. I
Yeah.
told myself no more retro games this year. $10, but I can justify it. I can't justify this.
You can, because when are you going to see it again for Dreamcast?
That's why I went back and traded stuff in for it.
And you're not going to see it.
I traded a bunch of DVDs, even some games. I traded an NES game that I didn't even know was worth as much it was worth. Never heard of it before. And have no attachment to it. I bought it in one of my bundles. So I took it in. And I took in the entire Gundam Wing DVD set that I got from you as a half trade for the PSP Go, which you no longer have.
Yep.
So everything that was good about that deal is gone.
Yeah.
And then I took in like some old wrestling DVDs that I don't need anymore. Some of my box sets that I had from that. I'm not getting rid of my Mania set, but I gotta get rid of the I got the SummerSlam set from Nate that had like the little cooler box.
Yeah.
And I took that in. I took in my Genesis Model 1 and my Game Boy Color. I have an extra Game Boy Color that I got at Goodwill for $5. It came with Mario Land in it.
That's what you're really buying it for.
Yes. They wouldn't take the Game Boy Color. It had too big of a scratch on the front. All right. Wouldn't take the Genesis Model 1.
Oh, hey, kitty.
Wouldn't take the Genesis Model 1 because he said he couldn't get sound out of it.
And then you shortly sent me a clip of, sounds like sound to me.
Yeah, well, I tested it before I took it in.
Yep.
And it had sound. Brought it home, hooked it right in. Popped in Zombies Ain't My Neighbors. Sound. Popped in that crappy-ass Power Ranger fighting game. It's got sound. So as long as it has sound on Nate's TV, I'm selling it to Nate for $10.
What I don't understand is that they said that he could get it to work with another cable.
No, yeah, he could get the cable to work on another console.
Oh.
So he said it's not the cable, and I'm like,
that's not the console because I just played it before I brought it in.
All right, so Skies of Arcadia is a 2-disc game. It only has the discs and the manual. I printed the back, and I printed the insert. And I'm holding it together with some tape. Basically, I didn't know that it only had the manual and the discs before I took stuff in. Then I saw it and went, well, I'm here. It's there. depending on how much I get, I never see this thing. I know I can do a pretty decent job at making it look good on the shelf. That's what matters to me. I've done this with plenty of games, like my handhelds, like my DS games that don't have cases originally.
Right.
Well, back when I bought stuff before I got into hardcore collecting and would only buy stuff.
I got a mess of those sitting around here somewhere for those instances.
Yeah, well, I mean, and I bought extra cases for the DS and the Vita, just in case I had a few. I came across some Vitas that didn't have a case, which is funny because sometimes I see stuff and go, "Oh crap, doesn't have a case."
Right.
And I forget that I can print my own if I need to. But that's it, man. I got these two. I was really happy actually to add to my Dreamcast collection because, as I said, Dreamcast, Saturn, Sega CD stuff around here is just dry.
Yeah, it is.
You know. And did you hear that Gaming HQ is closing?
No.
Yeah, Game Exchange is closing. The old Game Exchange.
Forever?
For now, yeah.
Well, I believe it's time for us.
Hold on. Because I know where you're getting. And they're not marking stuff down. They're moving it. They're moving all their stock over to the Kokomo store.
Bullshit.
Yeah, but all of your account information and your points, they're going to be over there.
Kokomo. I don't want to go to Kokomo.
I don't want to go to Kokomo either.
I want to be here in town.
I've been there once though. I mean, and it's really just this. It's the same store.
It is.
It's owned by the same guy, I think. But I guess they had an issue with the place where they were at, and they were told you need to get out.
Wow.
And they had very, very last minute type thing. So
that sucks that they're not reducing the prices. I wish they would have. They have a lot of rare games in there.
Yeah.
A lot of rare games that I like getting hands on, but a lot of them are out of my price range because we're purchasing. I'm in the point of purchasing large purchases.
Well, see, and the thing is that out of this right here, I spent $10.
Right.
And
this was.
And I traded extra stuff in. The only way that I can buy anything that is not like $10 or under,
right,
is to go trade stuff in. And so I took stuff in when I got those Final Fantasy guides, and I took stuff in to get Skies of Arcadia.
Right.
And it's like, I don't really what got me all that money was probably the Gundams, probably the wrestling box sets. Because that one NES game got me a little bit, but. Yeah, I mean that's the way to do it sometimes though, is to go and just trade stuff in and go at that route.
Yep.
Because especially if you're a cheap ass collector.
Like we are.
Yeah, I mean, I need to be more, but I haven't really been buying stuff ever since I did my Taxmas.
Well, I've that $30 now since I've decided to go a different route.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably gonna go spend it.
On
there.
What?
Well, whatever they have that I want.
They had Golden Sun.
I know. I had it in my hand. I didn't plan on getting it. And then today I really just changed my mind on what to do with that. So.
Yeah. Well.
Life goes on.
I believe that is it for today. We talked about all the E3 stuff. We did our pickups. Do you have a recommendation of the week?
Ooh, putting me on the spot.
Put you on the spot this week, pal.
Putting me on the spot. Metroid Prime 2.
There you go. So we talked about. They did reveal Metroid Prime 4. It's just a teaser. It just had a 4. And then Metroid Prime, and it's like in development for the Switch.
The second I saw the space coming out, I was like, "It's Metroid."
That's what got spoiled for me while I was like looking for the right video.
Did it say somebody when you were clicking through it? It said
Metroid Prime 4, and I'm like,
that's what I wanted.
I knew you're gonna be happy.
I mean, really, everybody delivered what we expected them to. Some things, I believe that Sony's saving The Last of Us for a different date. Mm-hmm. I believe probably PSX is what we're going to look at. Maybe Tokyo Game Show.
Here's the thing. I feel like them showing that game at PSX last year was a gift for the fans. And I don't think they're going to show any more of it.
But I want more.
Until they are closer to the game being completed.
I want more.
I do too, but I'm also more than happy forgetting about it until they're ready. That way it's a nice surprise.
Really what we've got coming out. I mean, I got a lot to pick up. I mean, really, Nintendo, I love you and I hate you. You're really pushing. Because me, like, even with Zelda and Splatoon and Mario Kart Deluxe, there's a reason to buy.
Are you gonna get Rocket League for that?
No, yeah.
In Mario Odyssey.
And Mario Odyssey.
And I'm getting
Probably
Xenoblade.
Skyrim. And
Yeah, I'd probably get
Xenoblade.
Skyrim.
Gotta own it.
And
Hey,
then- and
I
then
own
you
it
gotta
on
get
every
and-
console already, so might
And
as
now
well
you
keep
need
going.
to get a VR device for your wife.
Yeah,
So
I
that
see.
she
I've
plays
kind of
Skyrim.
got her convinced to just let it wait until they go to PC, so that I can download it on PC, and I mean I'll have a super powerful rig, top of the line what's out, and have her do it there because it'll be basically seamless. It'll be the best you're gonna get with Oculus Rift, and I'm
Oculus Lift.
Oculus Rift,
Oculus Lift.
Oculus Lift, but.
Lift me up upon a...
But that's it. All depends. I mean, that really looks at the price point. You know, we see what happens at that point.
All right, so my recommendation is actually going to be Grand Theft Auto 5 for a reason. I've been watching a lot of a streamer, and we can talk about this more in long form on the next podcast.
Okay.
He's a RP streamer. Yeah, he was a part of the SOE State of Emergency server, and I've been watching all his damn videos. They've been cracking me up, and he is Sheriff Eli on YouTube. This guy is absolutely hilarious, and what they've done is that they put mods into the game to allow him to like handcuff you and drag you around and put you in the car,
Right.
and all that kind of crap. And basically, in this server, you have to obey the law. If he catches you speeding, making a wrong turn, not signaling, he'll pull you over. And he's RPing as a cop. So
Here's my thing. You run from the cops, right?
Yeah.
You don't get kicked out for running from the cops.
no.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Like
You
that's what you're supposed to do. Like that is what you are supposed to do. Like if you're playing the game and you're a criminal,
Yeah.
you're supposed to RP as this criminal and you're trying to get away.
Right. Because some of those people are pulling over and they're just like, you were talking about them. They just pull them over and he's handcuffing them, and that's it. I'm like, man, if it was me, I don't care who it is. I'm outrunning them. I'm running every time.
Trust me, they try.
I'm
They
never
try.
gonna not run.
And it's hilarious to like hear some of these guys, especially they've edited the game where if you get injured, you have to call for medical, and your character won't be able to move.
Like you just injured at all?
Like not just I fell and hurt myself. Like if he gets critically hurt, like in a car wreck.
So what about bailing out? Is that considered crid?
I don't know. I've never
I'll
watched
have to watch.
I'm not sure. There are rules. There are RP rules though. Like for example, he if he's driving around and AI just runs right into his car, he can do /fix to fix his car.
Right.
But if he's in RP mode, he cannot do that. So they have things where like there are times where he's driving along and he gets hit during a chase and he goes face first or head first into a pole and his car dies. So he has to get out of his car, open his trunk, get the repair kit out and try to repair the car to get it going again.
Or he can steal another one.
No, he's a cop. He can't do that.
Oh, the cop. Okay.
Yeah, no. If you're a thief, if you're like a criminal, you're gonna be running.
Yeah.
But what's funny is that they eventually put in like the $1 million vehicles,
Yeah.
and he's all like saying like these are not cars, they're rocket ships. And then he was chasing them, and he lost them. They were gone. And he goes, chat. You really want to see me come unglued? Watch those guys hit something, and then they have to call for medical, and then I'll be the one to answer. And they did. He goes, what I say, ask and you shall receive. And he hits it, and he guns it over there. And his interaction with the characters are hilarious because the criminals, when you go in, you create a character, and that's your character. You cannot break that character.
Right.
There's been a few times where they've sort of talked meta, where they're like talking about the server because
Right.
they've been having server problems. Because this one dude got caught, and he was in custody, and they were checking out the car, and it was stolen.
Right.
And all this stuff. And the dude got kicked. So he just started walking away. And they're like, Sir, you're going to have to come back here. And they're like, I think he's kicked. Yeah, he goes, Sir? He goes, I will tase you. I did not charge my taser. What's going on here? and then there's like a AI lady sitting there smoking. He's like, I think his lady's going to wait for him. Like, completely ridiculous, this guy. And then he went, like when he loaded back in, he loaded in by the train station. So Eli went and got him. because he called up like on the chat and said, "Hey, I'm here," and he went and got him, and he's like, "It's RP. They had me."
Right.
So he followed the rules, and they put him right back, and they're like, "Well, thank you for coming back, sir. I'll definitely consider that." Well, I'm looking at all the evidence.
Right.
And I've heard all kinds of stuff, like whenever he takes him to jail, and see the cop gives you the sentence and tells you how many months that he sentenced you to, and then he is described like. He then calls up dispatch and gives the complete description, and some of the the way that he describes what they're wearing is absolutely funny. It's hilarious. He has said shit like he gives them crap for not calling him sir.
Right.
And he's like, "Mr. Bigglesby, we have covered this. In this situation, I have you in my custody. You are to refer to me as sir. Do you understand?" "Yes, sir." Mr. Bigglesby's like this Brit, and he's trying to figure out like for example, like he saw Mr. Bigglesby and Lang Buddha, his buddy, rob a bank. He saw Bigglesby. He knows Buddha was there, but he didn't have visual contact. So then he's talking to him, and then he goes, and then he basically implies that he knows that they were there. And he's like, "So you and Mr. Buddha robbed the bank up in Paleto Bay. How much you make off with?" "It was not successful." Like, got him. He just implicated that Buddha was there.
Right.
And then Buddha ended up like getting hit by like a car that he tried to steal on the freeway. So he had to go get him and then take him back. Everybody that ran from him that day, he was the only cop on the server, and he got them all.
What?
He slowly, like they outran him like 4 times. But slowly but surely, they would mess up and just come back around him. He goes, "Got him!" And then he ended up shooting like one of their tires out in another car and running into him. It's awesome and fun to watch. But definitely like GTA 5 on like PC seems like the way to go.
Yeah.
All the mods and stuff.
Really, with all these games that are allowing you to mod, PC's the only route. Like Skyrim and Fallout.
How well does that work on the consoles?
I've never had a problem with mine.
Well,
on PlayStation.
Well, see, and it's like I need to go in and I need to check out Fallout 4 on Xbox One so I can actually say how it works, because I've heard it works better on that, and you actually have more than what you have on PlayStation 4.
Yeah, you have a lot more, but it's more restricted, and like at least you know that I've never had an issue with PlayStation. The biggest thing to understand
we're talking about video games
in that for the PlayStation is, and the Xbox is mod loading order.
Mm-hmm.
Because certain mods will overlap other mods, so you have to know which one to load first. If one's changing the environment, you need to load everything else that is in that environment after the fact. Like we run some stupid mods like light posts. Like now through the trails, there's light posts, so there actually is a little light area, and it looks really neat. Just really, mine is just all graphical. I like to feel more involved in the world. So I don't do any like crazy mods. They do have like one that is unlimited weight capacity. So
there you go.
use that one a lot.
Well, like that helps you out, especially when
we
you're
don't need Lydia. Get out of here, Lydia. I can actually use somebody that does some damage.
All right. Well, I think that's gonna cover it all for today. So thank you guys for checking out this episode. Whether you're listening on all of the podcast services that we're available on, iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher Radio, Google Play Music, or you can check us out on YouTube where we have a camera set up and you can watch us sit here and talk about stuff and show our games off and all that kind of stuff. So we are getting interrupted again by people walking up. Giving the attitude.
That's right.
Anyway, thank you guys for checking out this episode. We'll be back next week. And until then, I'm Brando.
I'm Mike.
We'll see you later.